with Inkarnate, you'll notice that there isn't a filter tool on the left side in the left panel anymore. It's been moved over here to the right panel where the layers are. If I just go add layer and then go filter layer, what I can do is I can now choose what filters I want. And the first one that I'm probably going to pick, which just makes the most sense, is I might want to consider choosing a color filter. Oopsie, I used the wrong one. Let me go ahead and delete this real quick. Oops, remove layer. Yes, okay. Add filter layer. We want it to be a color filter. The first one I probably want to do is change it to a winter. So we'll have that one, but I don't want the winter to overpower my lights. So I probably will push that winter filter just down, maybe just one layer. In fact, you know what? I think I'll leave that there. That's fine. Let's just bring the opacity down a little bit. We can bring out this color. There we go. There we go. Get that blue in here. Now, a really cool trick with filters. You'll like this. I'll bring the opacity all the way up. Cool little trick. Take my filter, right click, and say add mask. And now you'll see there's this layer mask right here. Now what this will do is I can remove portions of the filter, right? So check this out. Let's just visualize the mask. So this red right here is everything that's going to be, is where the filter is going to affect everything. So what I want to do is maybe go over to fill with black, and this will remove everything. Then I go back over to white, and then this will help me paint where the filter is going to be affected. So what I can do is I can paint this red right here all outside of the filter. So just all along outside wherever the filter is. Like this, I'm going to paint all outside of that, where that force field is. And the red is where the filter is going to be affected, okay? So I'm going to go over like this. Here we go. Okay. Now, when I remove my visual mask, you'll notice that that filter is only affecting this area outside. But when I go inside, you'll note inside this area where I painted where the red wasn't, you'll notice that the filter is not being applied to this area right here. So I was able to have this whole this whole region be affected by that winter filter, but not this region was affected by the winter filter. So this is very useful. You could have a night filter or a weather filter of some kind that has on the outside of a structure, and while the interior of the building will not be affected by that filter. So a nice little trick is you can add layer masks to filters. So very, very helpful. Why don't we add a couple more filters? Let's add another one. Let's go back to filter. Oh, not land, my mistake. We'll go ahead and delete that. Let me undo. There we go. And we'll go back to add layer filter. Some other obvious ones are a texture filter. Why don't we go with snow? That looks good. The snow, let's push that all the way up. There we go. Let's make sure it's all the way visible. Got some snow in there. That looks good. Why don't we also apply some red filter a little bit to the inside so we can bring out some of those browns and everything. So let's try that. Let's add another filter. Filter layer. Let's go with red sky. There we go. Okay. Let me see here. Let's move that up to here. Let's go ahead and add that layer mask. There we go. And then we will visualize the mask so I can see it. There we go. And then I will remove the area which is not going to be affected by it. So I'll go ahead and kind of remove this. And that red filter, or whatever filter I want to put there, will only be affected within that red area there. So let's do that. 1 second while I kind of erase these areas here. Here we go. Let's go back to opaque and then kind of fill in some of this circle right here like this. And then we'll have to make adjustments to the filter. So let's go ahead and do this. That looks good. Let's go ahead and turn off the mask. There we go. So you see there's kind of this yellowish kind of color inside of there. So we can go back to the layer mask and just bring the opacity down. And you can see that I can change the opacity. So let's add a little bit more yellow into this, as you would kind of expect from all those lights, right? So let's go ahead and do that. There we go, a little bit more. There we go. That looks good. There you go. Okay, I think that overall, that looks good. We got the force field on there. We were able to show more lighting using filters and layer masks. I think overall this looks good. Why don't we do a couple more things? Why don't we create like a winter storm that's creating a frame that's kind of engulfing around the edges of it? So why don't we add another filter? Filter layer. Let's go into textures. And we'll go ahead and select the filter, go into the filter catalog. I'm going to click Inkarnate so I can see filters from every style. And there's this nice cloud kind of landscape here. This cloud right here might do well at the very, very top, like that. Actually, why don't we put it below the winter filter, so it's kind of bluish color. Let me see, which one is the winter filter? It's that one. So why don't we put that right there? There we go. Oopsie, wrong, my mistake. I went to grab the other one. We'll undo that real quick. Clouds, let's move that right